The Jays have brought back Cito Gaston before. The Argos have brought back Don Matthews. The Leafs have brought back Cliff Fletcher. And now the Jays are bringing back John Gibbons. And Justin, what was your first reaction at the hiring?
My first reaction was, what the hell are they doing? Because I don't know if you remember when Gibbons was manager before.
Oh, I remember.
I hated him. I hated the manager position altogether, because of him. He kind of put that face to the manager for me. And it was like, I really hate managers now because he likes to berate his players around and scream at them and throw fists or punches at them.
I don't blame him for the Ted Lilly experience. I mean, he goes to get the ball from Lilly.
Is that a ride in Las Vegas?
He goes to get the ball from Lilly, and Lilly tells him off. And what are you supposed to do? Just sit there, and Gibbons tells him where to go.
You do not let your pitcher or any player do that to you as a manager. You can't.
Do you want to know how I found out? It was late at night, the night before he got hired, and I just went on Twitter quickly just to look, see what was going on, and Slam Sports tweeted out that the Blue Jays were going to announce John Gibbons being hired. And I thought it was a joke. And I clicked on it, and I clicked on the article, and I thought it was an article from 2004. And I wake up the next morning, and what do you know? The Blue Jays have a press conference scheduled for John Gibbons. And I thought to myself, are you kidding me? The guy was 305 and 305. He was 500. And you're bringing him back? If it didn't work the first time, why would it work the second time?
But you know why it'll work, right?
But the more I think about it...
He was 500.
with a worse team.
With a worse team, and he still got them 85-plus wins.
He got him 87 the 1 year. Yeah. He got him second place behind the Yankees.
We're talking about an American League East here that were full of superstars. Like Boston and New York, they were running every year, running away. With the wild card, they were running away with first in the division. The Jays couldn't catch them at all, and Gibbons still got them 85-plus wins.
So is it a good hiring?
Well, like you said, what was your first reaction? My first reaction was that, I was asking myself, like, what are these people thinking? Because they made all these great moves, these trades, and then you bring in Gibbons? Then, like you said, I think about it, and...
It just makes sense, kind of.
It does.
The more you think about it.
He gives that veteran manager presence, not the newish, like, John Farrell presence that really wasn't going to help this year.
He wants to be here, though. That's the main thing. And he wants to be
here.
It's not a stepping stone to go to Boston, to go to New York, to go to Los Angeles.
The fact that he wants to be here is going to resonate with the players just because of what John Farrell did to the team. And
do you know that at the press conference they asked John Gibbons what his dream job was? Because as you know, John Farrell's dream job was Boston, and they said, well, maybe he'll leave. And his dream job was where he just was, managing the Double-A team.
Yeah, I already had my dream job, and he said, and I came here. So what does that tell you?
And do you know that the New York Mets wanted to interview him for the managerial job a few years ago, and he declined?
Really?
So he comes back now. Toronto gives him a call. Alex Anthopoulos wants him here. They developed a good relationship, and he wants to be here, and I think it's a good hiring, the more I think about it.
Okay, so before we get into Adam Lind, I want to ask you, what do you think the record's going to be? These moves, the coach hiring, what do you think the record's going to be?
I think they'll hit 90 wins for sure.
Okay. Boston. Is that going to make a difference, though? Are they going to make the playoffs?
I think I'm thinking highly when I say I think they could win the division. I think they're deeper than the Yankees. I think the Yankees are aging.
Oh, yeah.
Boston has not done anything in free agency.
I said this last week. I'll say it again. There's no Boston.
If Johnny Gomes, if you wanted to clear all that cap space, trade out Adrian Gonzalez, Josh Beckett, and you sign Johnny Gomes, and that's it so far, they don't worry me. I mean, they got Lester and Buchholz, but... And then, they could win the division. I think they're definitely in the hunt for the wild card. There's no doubt.
For sure.
Oh, no doubt.
There's 2 wild cards now.
Yeah, no doubt.
In the American League.
The key is to get the division because you don't want the wild card. You don't want to have to play a 1-game playoff. I mean, Texas was the best team all year. They faded down the stretch. Oakland wins the last 3 games in the at the end of the regular season, and what happens? Texas has to play Baltimore in a playoff, and Baltimore wins, and Texas is knocked out. Like, if you're the Blue Jays, you definitely your expectations should be better than just a wild card. But
all right, so quickly into Adam Lind.
If you didn't hear, Adam Lind went on a local radio show this past week and criticized John Farrell. Said John Farrell didn't know how to manage, essentially. That John Farrell was a pitching coach, didn't have a clue what he was doing when he was sending runners in motion. They were running into a lot of outs. And he also said that John Farrell didn't really want to be here. It felt like he didn't want to be here. That when they would go to Boston, he had that extra pep in his step, that, you know, he walked around greater, like that, just that he tried harder, essentially.
He wanted to show them that he was a good manager so that they would give him a second, third, and fourth look.
And Lynn said that the key quote was, Lynn said that he was a worker of the Blue Jays. He was not a Blue Jay. He was a worker for them. And clearly it shows. Farrell going to Boston.
Yeah, you know, good for him. I have been hard on Lind for 2 seasons now, actually. But
well, he had that one good year, and you expect it. I mean, he won Silver Slugger, and you think, okay, him and Snyder, they're supposed to be the future, and then Lind just tails off completely. But you know what? Isn't that the case with the Blue Jays? I mean, Alex Rios, good year, tailed off, see you later. Aaron Hill, good year, well, good 2-3 years, tailed off, see you later.
So how do you think, how do you think Lind's going to play now with Gibbons? Do you think
Lind is one of the few players that has played for John Gibbons? I believe it's him and Casey Janssen that are the only leftovers from when Gibbons was manager. Casey Janssen was actually a starter for the Blue Jays when Gibbons was here. So I hope Lind feels more comfortable. I mean, when you look at holes on the team, again, I think most people look at Adam Lind as being a weakness, whether he's at first or whether he's DHing. Maybe he should just be DH and focus on hitting, because that's his strength.
So
next topic.
Yes, NFL, man. Let's talk about the Jets.
Oh, the New York Jets.
I just want to ask you a question here about the Jets. It's a very general question. I already know the answer. This is kind of for everyone else. How bad are the Jets? Like, just go right into it.
that one play on Thursday night symbolizes them as a team this year. And if you don't know what play I'm talking about,
it was brutal.
Mark Sanchez, I have no words what to say. If you missed it, Mark Sanchez huts the ball, goes to hand off to his running back. The running back's not there. He went the other way. So Sanchez decides to run. He runs into his lineman, falls flat on his back. Ball goes tumbling away. New England picks it up, touchdown. And then what happens? Very next play, kickoff. Jets fumble. Julian Edelman takes it in for a touchdown. And that writes off the New York Jets.
I want to ask you a question. What do you think he was thinking when he ran into his ass? I mean, no, seriously. Like, I want to know. Was his
supposed to?
Were his eyes open even?
You're panicking. You're panicking. You turn around and your running back isn't even there. And the play's a running play. What are you supposed to do? You take off. You run into him. I mean...
How do you think he felt when he ran into his backside? He probably wanted to crawl under a rock and die.
Well, the New York... I think it was the New York Post or the New York Times... Their headline on the front page the very next day was "Butt Ugly," and it was a picture of Sanchez on the ground with his butt to the camera. So
is that?
And clearly,
because in hockey that's a hip check, right? So technically, it's a penalty.
And clearly, Fireman Ed, I think that's his name, the lead supporter of the fans in New York that he's at every game. He had enough. He retired. He said he'll still go to Jet games, but he's not going to be Fireman Ed. He's the one who leads the Jets, 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 Jets chant, and he's had enough of Sanchez, clearly. And he's had enough of the Jets, and I mean, they make the Bills look good. I mean, I thought I had it bad being a Bills fan, but you do not want to be a Jets fan right now.
Yeah, I don't understand why you're a Bills fan, but anyways.
It's topic for another day. It's been tough 13 years.
So, Tebow.
Yeah.
Broken ribs?
Yeah, I don't know why he dressed. You have 2 broken ribs. I mean, come on. Bad coaching. Rex Ryan, I think if Belichick put up 50, well, they put up 49. If Belichick put up 50 and the Jets put up less than 10, I think Rex Ryan's out of town. But yeah, I don't know what you're doing dressing your I don't know what you're doing trading for Tim Tebow to begin with, and then